how we can create all the type of groups that we have here, primarily M365 group and security group. We also talked about and created the distribution list, dynamic distribution list. We talked about the teams group as well, and even down to uh, the mail-enabled security group. We define them as they are, and we also look at the various admin centers and methods, and even the application, including teams that these groups can be created from. So I think one thing I didn't mention that day was the corresponding SharePoint site, or I didn't show us rather, I know I mentioned the corresponding SharePoint sites, I mean document library that will always be created once a channel is created. So today we are starting off from roles. And if you are in this same page with me, when you open your Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and you open this role, there are two things under role, which is role assignments and administrative units. And these are the two things we will be focusing on to learn today. So to start with, we are going to open role assignment and see what we have here. Now, like I will always say, you need to develop the habit of reading, not just reading, careful reading and understanding. Because I know one thing for sure, Microsoft will always give you a guide in form of writing and sometimes even video, just so you will be well aware of what you are about to do or what you are currently doing. So in this case, we have assigned Microsoft Entra, which is now Microsoft Entra ID, right? Built-in roles to users who need access to other admin centers and resources in Microsoft Entra ID, such as users, group, apps that use Microsoft Graph API. And remember when we talk about Microsoft Entra ID, we are talking about identity. And when you talk about identity, you are talking about anything, be it user, systems, groups that has an identity in an environment. Identity in most cases refers to username and password, but basically they are those requirements needed to have access to any environment, right? So, and in this list, you will see that every role here, one way or the other, has something to do directly or indirectly with identity. Okay, how do we mean? Now, the first one you see here is AI administrator. Okay, basically, right, for you to even have access to anything, you need Entra ID. So this encompasses or should encompasses the whole of admin administrators privilege that are contained in Microsoft 365. Because one way or the other, they have to do with an identity. Because without identity, you can't carry out a function. You have to sign in before you can carry out any function. Then we have the ones for exchange, which will in this case be tailored to anything that has to do with emailing and communication, as well as information sharing and the security. So if you check here, you are seeing communication compliance. It provides permission to all communication compliance rules, administrators, analysts, investigators, and viewer. So a whole lot of this, we talked about information security, emailing, uh, yeah, communication, right? And if you come to Intune, this has to do with device management, okay? Device management and the roles that can be assigned to individuals that will be operating or managing devices in an organization. And here you see manages the application lifecycle of mobile apps. So if you should grant this role to somebody, this is what these are what the person will be able to do. Configure Intune policy, manage apps, view devices, information and device configuration profiles. And here the category says identity. And if you check help desk operator perform remote tasks, assign apps and policy to users and device. This is talking about device. These are all the roles that are contained for Intune. And you can see there are very few. They are ranging from devices uh, to identity to security and compliance, of course. You need to manage compliance policy uh, of an organization. That is why we always have the policy being in place, and there must also be a team ensuring that individuals and which are users are compliant to those policies that have been put in place by an organization. We have read only to view users' device enrollment details. In this case, you'll be able to view stuffs, but not really uh, write stuff, right? Like modify them. And here again, we have other, which is the school administrator's role as it says to Intune. Here is a get full access to manage Windows 10 and, we're still talking about devices and users. So yeah, in billing, you will see things administrator's role that is uh, directed to billing as the word implies, which has to do with money, and money of the organization. So billing account contributor, the description says contributor can update billing account settings and assign agreement with Microsoft. Uh, account settings, billing account settings, probably trying to set uh, probably occurrences, billing occurrences, probably from monthly to weekly and stuff like that, the payment method and the rest. So billing account owners can manage all billing accounts and billing profile settings and roles and sign agreements with Microsoft. Readers can view the account, but they cannot really do anything. They can't sign the agreement. They can't modify anything there. So coming back to Entra, we have the categories, and under the categories, you have collaboration, you have identity, security and compliance, others, still saying to something one way or the other. So whether Intune, whether Exchange, whether billing, it has to do with identity still because you would have to you will be needing that identity to even access the platform in the first place. So what can you do here now that we are here? We have just seen the overview of what can be contained in this place. What then can you do here? Shall we start with export? Export could take some time. So what am I exporting? So I'm trying to export the roles. We'll get to see that. So nothing. Okay, so we have them in a Excel file, and I'm just going to open since it's finished its downloads. Okay, so these are the identities that have users, sorry, that have administrative role in my organization and the role that they are currently having. So from here, what's this now? Oh, I think the one making that mistake. So from here now, you see that the first name, global administrator, is Paul Oborefo, and this is his email address. And the category of his role is global, and of course, I'm a user. The same thing goes with Chidima, the same thing goes to Samuel. And these are not the only users I have in my organization, but this will give you the list of users, the entire users that have administrators privilege or administrative privilege in your environment, just so you are aware of and who is doing stuff and what they are capable of doing at that time. Did I say who and who? This can be who and what, because some of the times it can be devices, right? So I'm going to close this out for now. When we come to OpenExec again, but not with these reports. Is it cool if I delete? No, let me just leave it. So if I should click here, I'm expecting that everything should be highlighted. Okay. And what I can really do here is just add these rows to my favorites. I can't do much. You see that even compare is grayed out. So if I click here, all of these will be unchecked back. So I can literally search. I search for row. If I need to work on a specific role, I can search for global, and here we are global. Anything that has to do with globe is out. So if I want to search for a particular administrator, I mean an admin privilege role, I will just, come here, search it out, right? So here you can change the view. This is the normal list. We can see the combat list. I would say even like. So to be honest, I'm not seeing. Okay. I'm not really seeing the need for that, if you ask me. So filter, very, very important. You can filter, you can say, like, if I have marked any my favorite, I can literally come here and see them. Let's take, for instance, let me do all row, right? If you have some favorite roles, you can literally come to filters and you do favorites. So these two alone will be marked out for you. And I can just come here and hit this star to remove them from favorite. So I can say I want to check for collaboration alone. So all of this will give me all the roles that has to do with collaboration, devices, global, order, security, and compliance. And if I feel okay, I am done with all of those, I can just come and do clear filters and it will give me back my full big list. So if I now really want to work on this administrator's role one after the other, let's just stick to the top first four and use them, right? So if I should check this, there is something you are seeing here. You are seeing add as favorite. We have done this. You are seeing assign admin. Yeah, I can literally come and say, okay, I want to assign an admin to this role. And don't forget, you can assign a role to a security group, right? Just so they can carry out, or everybody in that group can carry out the function. So if I want to add the user, I can come and say, give it to collab. What is collab? Is this a user or a group? It should be a user. I don't know how I created this, but we have it. So collab, we have that administrator's role. And if you check this assign, you will see the users. I mean, under this assign, you see everybody. I will open global admin just so we see what I'm trying to show up here. So if you come here, you see all the assigned entities that are in that group. So we have only one test security group, not available for security group. Okay, yeah, there is no email. Email is not available for security group. This is not mail enabled security group. So you see that despite me having many groups, for example, let me show us. Okay, this is not the account. Let me just pull up that account. Some here. Okay, I will just open from the web. Okay, I'm opening a new tab. Okay, so I just want to show you that I have many administrators, I mean groups, and even if not many, but at least I have more than one, but only one is showing up for us here. And these are the people or the entity that are currently holding this AI administrator's role at the moment. So we can come and check for the permission that is contained in this role, right? They can manage all of these, read and configure service health, do a whole lot. This is the read permission they have to stuff, and they can only read things from here but not do much. Read message in message center in the Microsoft Admin Center, excluding security messages, uncategorized, Microsoft M365 Copilot, and the this uncategorized, I'm not really getting it. Maybe we want to research on this and get a clearer picture of it. And then you have general. What do we have in general? Who should be assigned this role? So, like I said, Microsoft will give you insight of what you are about to do or what you are currently running. So, assign the AI administrator's role to user who need to do the following tasks. So, if a user needs to do this, let's say if a user needs to do this, these are the users you assign this particular role to. And what am I doing? And we have it assigned to two already under the category of this particular group, or rather role is collaboration. So if I want to assign a user a group, I can just click here, and then I do this and I remove the tube. Okay, and if I do this, you can see manage role or manage group. So if I come to manage, and if you check user, there's nothing like manage user. So I can still come here and uncheck to remove this user from that role and probably assign another role to them. Let's say global reader or yeah, let's just put global reader. Or I can say I don't want to give them administrators, but let's say global reader here, and then these save changes could be enabled for me. Going back, you will see that it will no longer be part of those AI. It will no longer be part of this place. You see now, it's no longer here, right? But if you go and check global, global reader, global reader, you see that we have one user there currently. So if you check general, the role is assigned to one person. And if I come here, you still see manage group, but there was nothing like manage user. So I can literally come, manage the group, manage the members of the group. Because at the end of the day, it is the users in this group that will inherit that permission that I'm granting to this group. So I can view, okay, they are currently 0 member. So I can view and manage the owners. Okay, this is owner, and these are the users. I can literally come here and add the user, keeping in mind that anybody you add from here, will automatically inherit that permission role. Now, two people are added to a group, which means that they now have this global administrator's role, but the assigned will still remain one, because in real sense, the assigned is still one. Let me open active users in another group. Let's go and check. You don't have the required permission to access this org. Switch to another account. You know what I want to do, right? I just want to show us the number of groups that I have. So I know I assigned that role to Samuel. If I should go to Samuel now, Samuel has a global reader that I just assigned, right? If I should go to, who is it that I assigned to? Who is it that to the group rather? Okay, now kindness has a global reader, which are two people. Two people inside of a group. Inside of a group. And that is what, okay, these are the groups that I have. I wonder why I was going through the Teams app. These are the groups that I have. And we have, which accounts am I using? Okay, security group. So you see that this is email security, I mean, mail enabled security groups. You cannot really use this to assign roles at the moment. So this test security, if you come, there are two members here, and it has the global administrator's role. Remember where we assign it from. And if I check the members, you see owner is one and members are two. Okay. So we return back here and you see run as. Now, if I should click on this run as, this is going to take you to where Microsoft would want you to really understand what the role is about. What is this? Why are you taking me back on? So in most cases, they want to give you a training on that particular role. Let me just check and click on another one. Not sure why that isn't coming up. So I will do this and remove this guy. And if I remove this guy, you see that kindness here and in manual here, even this test security will no longer have an administrator's role. And because it doesn't have an administrator's role any longer, if I come to active users and I come to Emmanuel, you see that that role will be removed from Emmanuel. Now we have only this. And if I come to kindness, kindness will be left without a role at the moment. Okay. I hope we are getting the flow very well. So if I should close this out and return back here, I'll close this out and I'll close the search and then I'll do this. So if I should click this, I can literally do it from here, run as. I just hope it takes us somewhere. Oh, run as AI administrator. What am I doing? So if you are running as AI administrator, right? You are not AI administrator. Maybe you want to assign the role to someone and you want to check what the role is actually all about. You can come here, use the role as if you're a global administrator or as if you're an AI administrator, but whatsoever you will be doing will not be saved. All changes will be saved rather, yeah, run as AI administrator. So what can you really do with it as a matter of fact? So you manage is that at the end of the day, this should not have, oh, because you should even have all changes will be saved. This is a very serious warning from Microsoft. Because you are running as, uh, you shouldn't be able to really save stuff. But because I'm a global admin and you want to test things out, in the course of your testing, you may just be saving stuff. And if you do, they will just be there for you, right? Okay, then you can exit running as one and it just jumped out. All right, so beside that, you can compare roles. Maybe you want to assign, I don't know what one is selected. I don't know why comparison is coming out because you are not comparing with anything. Okay, so in this case, but you can compare two, right? If I do this and I do this, now something happened. There is no, if I click on the second one, there will be no assign admin and there will be no run as. The reason is I can't be assigning two roles to a user or group at the same time, and I can't run the both of them at the same time or run as both of them at the same time, but I can compare them, right? If I come here, you see that AI administrator manage all aspects of Microsoft 365 Copilot and AI-related enterprise in Microsoft 365. And here, full access to enterprise application, registration, and application process settings. So basically, what this is telling you is AI administrator can really basic property on all resources in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. That's why you are seeing this green and green. They can both do it. They can both create and manage service requests in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, read and configure service health in the, they can both do this. But yeah, read all properties on sign-in reports, including privileged properties. Application administrator can, but a user with AI administrator cannot. So like that, like that, like that, you see the much that application administrator can do that AI cannot do. But in this case, there are few that AI administrator's role, a user with AI administrator's role can do, and AI application administrator cannot do. Read usage reports in Microsoft 365 Admin Center, manage all aspects of content in Microsoft, search, and the rest of them. Okay, so what if I click on 3? 1, 2, 3. You see now that you can still compare 3 rows. So they'll just give them to you as just so you know, maybe you are having a doubt on whether to assign a help desk administrators to a user, or you want to assign a password reset or password administrators to a user. I think we may want to carry out that uh, check. I think we have password administrator, then we'll compare the two, because help desk most times, they help to troubleshoot a lot of this issue, so they can read basic properties on all resources in M365 admin center. Yes and yes, reset password for user. Help desk can and password administrator can, but create and manage service requests in, yeah, help desk can, but password cannot. So basically, these are the only two things password administrator can do. In fact, if you ask me, this is the only thing they can do. They can only reset password for all user. Reset password for all non-admin user and some admin roles. And this is to tell you that excluding global administrator. And this can reset password and re-authenticate for all non-admins and some admin roles, manage service requests, and monitor service health. Right? Now let's go and check on 4 roles and see if we can compare them. You see that compare is grayed out. You can't compare up to 4 roles at a go. So you can select up to 3 rules to compare. You can select more. So quickly, let's assign. I forgot to do that, make that export when I assign a role. So let's just assign this to a group and add some users to that group. Now I'm going to add a group, and in this group, I think I will add the user 2 manually, and I will add. One thing is shocking and it should be disturbing, and that is me myself that is assigning the role. My name is not there. I'm not amongst the users that can be assigned a role. Why? Okay, out of curiosity, I wish that we go and check on that and revert back before our next class. So for the group, I'm going to assign some members. Oh, there are 2 members already. Perfect. Perfect. So there is Emmanuel and there is kindness in the group already. So they will automatically inherit that role. So I'm going to remove Samuel from here just to avoid that tautology. Right. So and I'll try to add up another user. So let me now add Chidima. Oh no, let me add collab. and I will hit on enter, and they are both there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to export admin list. And let's see what they will have for us this time as against what they gave to us the last time. So this is the recent one, and I'm just opening. Okay, so in this case, you see attack payload, um, attack payload. Oh, there's a security, test security, but you did not see kindness and Emmanuel. Do you get it? You did not see kindness and Emmanuel. It is in this test security. It is when you now want to check who is even here or who actually have this admin role. Like it can be assigned to a test security group and it's for nobody. Then you now go and check the membership status of the security group. Then you see that collab also have the pay load author, role. So this will give you all the list of administrators that you have in your environment. Okay, I think with all of this, we should be done with role assignments in Microsoft 365. So our two home take for research on and reverse to us is one, run as, and secondly, maybe I'll just open my notepad and just insert it in here. Then I'll do on takeaway. Please ensure to give us a feedback before our next class. So the next thing I want to do is research on runners in roles assignment in MS Admin Center. And the second is admin. How do I put this now? Okay, let me just say I'm the one doing it. Not showing up for role assignment. Users role assignment. Why? Right? For users role assignments. Now the question is why. So research on this and revert back. Okay, so at this junction, Samuel, do you have any question or clarification before we move on to administrative unit?
So far, no question. I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Please, you can just mute back and then we'll continue. All right. So here that we are going to open a lot of tabs and we may likely create new users. I don't know my battery. Uh, I may, if it's going down, I may just need to take a break because I'm out of power at the moment. I may just have to switch to another environment. That being said, administrative unit is kind of large. I hope we'll be able to finish. We should be able to cover. We are just about 30 minutes into the class already. So in this case, you see that in my administrative unit, it is empty. Okay, and units, let's say the definition. Unit lets you subdivide the organization into any unit that you want and then assign specific administrators that can only manage that unit. For example, you can assign the help desk administrator's role to a regional support specialist. So they can manage users in that region. Where this is actually very useful is most of the time for uh, multinational organization or organization with many branches, could be within the same region, but probably uh, just distance apart. It could even be best used as well for a departmental demarcation. For example, in every organization, we have the accounting department. We have, most of the time, we have the IT department. We have the marketing department. And each of these departments usually have heads of department, right? So what this role does basically is maybe like we would have for groups, right? You have a group for marketing department, you have a group for accounting department, and you now want to assign the group ownership to the probably the head of the department, just so they can add groups or sorry members to that group. This same way, if the let's assume we'll be assuming them, right, that all these head of units or department, let's use department and leave out regions. Departments have IT inclined, they are IT inclined. So we'll give them this administrative role just so they can be able to manage their department only. But to further explain it, if we have let's say this company like we are talking now, a Poladi Registry, if we have it as we have it in Nigeria, if we have it in Ghana, we have it in South Africa, probably we have one in Brazil, right? We may say, okay, let's have a local department, which we only let's say in Nigeria too, we have one branch in Abuja and probably one in Port Harcourt. We may want to create an administrative unit for uh, Nigeria as a whole. Where in that administrative unit, we have the Nigerian users, we have the Lagos users, the Abuja users, and the Port Harcourt users. Now, this is kind of local to we in Nigeria, right? And then we have the dedicated IT team that will be given certain privilege to manage their scope of work will be within these users, within these users in these three branches and in Nigeria. We can now for that for Africa, right? We can now say um yeah, we can now, include uh Nigeria, South Africa, and Ghana in the same unit, and as well have a dedicated administrative I mean administrators to manage them, and then we can have for the org wide, which will not include um so in the Africa is into region, right? Which will not include the let's say Brazil, South Africa, like everybody all together, right? We call them most of the time global team, right? Global IT team. So they will be in charge of everything, including the admin that governs the region of Africa, and they will be in charge of even the admin that are in charge of Nigeria. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to create a unit. So you do that by saying add a unit, and the unit must have a name. Let's say test unit one. So you click on this description. Like I said, as an administrator, always ensure you have a description to make the work easier for the next admin that will be coming on board after you, just in case you leave the organization. Then you just next, and then we have we have optional settings. Yeah, under optional settings, we have members and we have roles. So what you want to do is add a user. you can add up to 20 users at group, right? Then here you'll be uploading them one after the other. So you can just check, and then you do a add. So these three users are there. You can come and say you want to add a group, and then you add group. Just know that any role you are assigning to these people, to this group, right? The admin of this group will be the one managing the affairs of those group only. So yeah, I'm going to remove uh we have operation. Let me just add a group, and then we have about 3 users. No, we are going to remove the manual from here. Okay, and then you have option to upload actually, right? Then yeah, you download the sample file, which will give you a test file. Yeah, you will have to enter the username of your of the users in your organization, your tenants. Here you see that they have different domains. The same way you can have multiple domains in your environment, and it can depend on. So, if, for example, if your users in Nigeria, you can decide to give them the domain, let's say john@contoso.ng or .com.ng. But the users in UK, you can say john@contoso.com.uk. So if you want to now manage the whole region, if you want to add that of .uk, you put .uk. It has to be the same way they are written or they are given to them in the admin, in the organization. So when you are done putting all the names together, you come, let's even assume, I know that is not correct. And then we do download. And then if I do this, your profile, is validated and ready. Select next, but it will not upload. To be honest, it will not upload because those users do not exist in my organization. So let's just do the manual one and stick to it because this will just go for us once we have 2 users, kindness and collab, as well as a group, and plan this ready training. And then we'll next role, which role do you want to give to them? These are the only roles that support administrative unit. Select the role and then assign admins to it, right? So what do I want this user to do? Which role should I give the role? Let's say, okay, uh, be the help desk. I can say be the group administrator. I can say be the global administrator. Now, if I say the user should be a global administrator, doesn't mean they will uh, have, doesn't mean they can bypass that role to other users. It will only be restricted to users that are within the administrative unit. So if I say help desk, so you see here they say, didn't I assign a role? I think I do. Help desk. You serious? It's still not. Okay, I'll need to open it up, right? And then I will assign. Who am I assigning? Let me assign Samia to manage that group. And then if I do this, I close up and I next. Now you see, I pick the head desk administrators and the user that will be managing. Now, this user will be fully in charge in managing these users. So if I do add, we have an administrative unit. Now, you can view and edit, you can add members, you can upload users to the unit, and you can add up another unit. This is just on the inside, right? So if I should click here, I'll see more details about the group, sorry, the unit. Right, I can do add user, I can add more users to 10 or to it. I can add more group. And don't forget upload. We have come and upload in TXT files. Then I can export members in CSV file. If I do test unit one member, see the member pass, you are the one that have thousands of users in your organization. Uh, so you see, that's a group and there's a user and the user. So yeah, if I should close down, um, okay, so yeah, I can come and refresh just perhaps I had another user and it's not coming up. If I refresh and refresh, it should come. Then rule assignment, you can come again, assign another rule. But before then, if I should come and do assign, uh, okay, there's no even, it's okay, thank God. There's no even a place to say we are saving something. But then I can come and say assign an admin. So I can come and click and this, and I will do assign an admin, and then I'll add the user, and let me add Shitty. Then I'll do this. This is me just up clicking. I can literally come here again to and say assign a user. She does disappear to assign that way. Don't mind this favor. Then I'll move on. Chidi is there, Chidi is there, and she becomes the administrator. Okay. So if I go back to administrative unit, and I come here, and I do role assignment, I can assign. So I can literally be assigning role. Yes, I can literally be assigning. So let me download this again. I see the roles that are assigned for test unit one. So the role for test unit one is this. We have help desk administrator and the user is Emmanuel. And this is the username. We have the cloud device administrator. The user is Chidima, and this is a username. So here you can easily just find out who the real administrator or the administrator are in your organization and their scope of management. Okay, so having done that, we'll carry out a very short practical of this by creating a user. I think we can use Collab. Collab is not actually a user. So I'll just reset Collab's password. Now, signing is blocked. Oh, I'm not even on here. I want to quickly unblock this dude. And then, it can take 15 minutes for this user to sign in again. I don't know, but I'll just try my best to see if I can sign in and we will use him for our demo. Okay, so I want to reset this password. Do I want to auto generate? No, I don't want to auto generate. I will do okay. So I'm required to change. No, I don't want him to change. Let him just be. Then I will copy this. Then I will enter, and then I'll do this. Right, so we have collab, and I'm going to open a new in private window. So this may end up being a very short session, right? So if I do admin.microsoft.com and I want to check for what this dude can do, what was the password again? Okay, I hope it works. Okay, yeah, I just sign in. So this user doesn't have permission to use the admin center, right? But I feel I think he has an administrator's role. Probably that admin role cannot open the central admin center. Usually, most of the admin role can, right? Most of the admin role can, but his cannot. Or yeah, he has this role. But I'm just going to remove it from him now, just so it doesn't have any role at all. And I will go to our roles, assignment, administrative unit. Then here, I'm going to, sorry, I'm coming here. And if I should come here, role assignment, I'm going to give it to collab desk administrator. I'm going to remove this guy. I'll do remove. And then I'll give this to collab, right? And then I will enter. So collab now has collab was added to this row. Okay, refresh it and see. Okay. Now you see what I was telling you about refresh. It was not here, but yeah, he is here. I mean, I refresh and it came. And you see that he's at admin. His last seen no attempt in 30 days. Yes, because he has not signed in. And the scope that it covers is not the organization, is just the test units, right? Now let me go and assign a role from here. The same help desk, right? If I do help desk and I come here and I do add the user, let me add this here. And if I close, if I refresh for her to come, okay, she's not coming in. It's problem. Okay, yeah, she's here now. Now look at this. It says scope. Here we have the organization. That means it has help desk administrator for every user within that organization. Okay, but here this should only have for users within the test unit 1 unit. Taking, okay, so if I should come back to my incognito or in private windows and I do refresh, I'm expecting that this guy should just come up. If that row is synced immediately. So I will just open again, admin at Microsoft.com. I'll pick my account and then I will sign in here. I hope it works, okay. And then I do yes. Okay, yeah, we are here. This is interesting. So I'm going to, kind of split the screen. Okay, so oh, I'm doing this for this. This is both admin center, right? These are both admin centers, and one person is signing in as a global administrator for the organization, and the other person is signed in as as a help desk administrator for a unit. So basically, a help desk, an help desk administrator can literally support all the users in the organization. And how many users do I have here in active users? Here you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I should come here and check my users, you see that I will have 1 or 2, right? This is to say that if you should come to my administrative unit, test unit 1, there are only 2 users here. Only 2 users. Now, what happens if I come to my groups, teams and group, active teams and group? You see that, and if I should come to active teams and group here, teams and group, active teams and group, you see that I have a lot of them here, but there is only one that is speaking from this guy, for this guy to manage. This is because He may even belong to other group, but he himself, I mean to say, but when it comes to management, he has only the privilege to manage this particular group. And after this, nothing more. Yeah, he can literally do stuff. So any user with helpdesk administrator can sign into Microsoft Entra ID, identity, admin center, right? Okay. So he can do some stuff, add owners, like he can literally manage the group. Okay. Um, Now Collab is still signed in as an admin. What other admin center does he have access to? He will have access to Teams because of that group that we even have for him. He could have access to Teams admin center, which is the slowest to load. Or you don't even have that. You don't have access to Teams admin center. Yes, this is because Teams admin center is not really for group management or one group management per se. It has to do with policies and and meeting policies and teams policies. And they are often at times all wide policies. Okay, so and because of that, but I think he should have access to Teams. Of course, he's a user himself, but whichever way he can get to Teams and group, and we have access to this group, we will be able to manage this group effectively. Okay, now it can reset password. Let me reset a password. If I should reset this password, it will be difficult for that person. What do I do? What do I do? Sure. Okay, let's try this. Let's quickly add a user. Oh, I'm coming to Teams. You see now that in this place, there's nothing like add a user. It cannot add a user, right? Let's quickly add the user and add that user test unit, test unit, test. Good. Then next, do we need to give him license? Let's just give him emotional, no rule. Yeah, let's give this guy global admin. Let's give this guy global admin, global administrator. Next, and then finish adding. Close. Now let's move to administrative unit, test. Let's quickly add, uh, uh, these things are not syncing. Oh, hold on. Emmanuel Samuel, yeah, he's here now, he's here. So I will just add, so that is the power of syncing. So it may not sync here immediately, but it will definitely sync and come up. So we'll try to refresh, but while we wait, I don't want to change the password of this user. I really don't want to. But let's just do it for the purpose of this training. So if I do reset password, from here, kindness quickly, you don't have appropriate permission to reset this user password because they have admin rules. Only global admins can do that. Oh, this was what I wanted to show while I added that guy. What have I done now? And this guy has shown up. Okay, I will just quickly go and because I'm trying to round up ASAP before my battery will go off. Because my battery is not very strong. I'll do unit test, right? Unit test and unit. Then on next, let's give them license. On next again. On next, no rule, right? No rule. You see that the test unit is here already, this other side, right? Is there already, just so his boss can manage him. So I will quickly come to administrative unit from here, membership. What is this now? Come to okay, I don't need to be in a hurry. Come on, administrative unit. Yeah. Why is it taking me here? Admin unit. Okay, I was double clicking. So I will go and do unit test. Yeah, this is the guy. Unit test. Okay, I'll come here and refresh. I'll come here and refresh. In between, let me open quickly Entra ID. Entra ID. You see that in Entra ID, this user may be able to see or will be able to see all the users within the organization. So if I really want to change this guy's password, it will not work. It won't work. I cannot because they have certain administrators through. Yeah, unit test. What if I'm changing for unit test? Reset password. And if I hit here, it's gone. So password has been reset, right? And if I come to, what is this? I wasn't expecting that. So let's just move and do that from here. If I come here and I do identity, I should be able to access the Microsoft Entra ID. I don't know why this is coming up. I just hope it is account. So naturally, I should be able to access it because I have the helpdesk administrator show, which involves, let's see, let me quickly just add another user. Another role to that guy from here. Uh, I'm over clicking. Okay. Uh, okay, roles. Why is it showing me only role assignment? Oh, I'm not in the right place. So if I do, why now? Yeah, I'm the one. If I do administrative unit, this, and I want to add, I don't know why I'm double clicking, and I want to add permission or role, and I do uh, identity. I should do identity. Identity. Okay, and try. Let me just filter. There's no filter here. Um, routines drive. Okay, user administrator. Yeah, user administrator. Let me add this to collab. I just pray or I just hope that. So helpdesk administrator cannot access Entra ID. Honestly, this is the first time I'm learning that. I would not have ordinarily thought about it, but user administrator should have that permission. What is happening? Let's try exchange. Let's see if it will open for us. Exchange is opening. Why is identity not opening? So let's see. We are going to do a little research ASAP. Common Copilot, load up admin role as have access to Entra ID. So the global admin role can, the authentication administrator can, the user administrator can, application administration can, and privilege role administrator can. So with user administrator, it's just thinking it should be able, let me refresh, to access. So these are the users they can basically attend to or manage, but based on with some certain administrators role, they will not be able to manage some stuff. Let's see as user administrator if he will be able to reset kindness password. Remember the last time I was not able to, he's not able to. I wonder the admin role that kindness has. What is this? He has the help desk administrator at PayPal log. Okay. So can you manage the role? You don't have permission to save changes, so I cannot manage our role. Identity is still not going to open. All right, Samuel, if you are here, I know you are here. Just try this out, right? I really want you to try it out as a person, but it should open. And when it's open, you'll be able to see all the users, but you cannot carry out all function on all of them. The ones you can only carry function on are those within your units. So at this point, I think we are done for the day, and I feel we have achieved something, and I hope you go back, sit, check these things out. And if I would, kind of advise you, write on it, if you can, and of course, publish it, make the noise, and make your work and what you are doing known to the world. At this point, I want to say thank you very much for your time, your attention, uh, and I hope this will make a huge impact as we grow on and collaborating together going forward. Again, thank you. And I think it's time for question. I'm going to stop the recording while your question can come in, Samuel. Okay, Samuel.